Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to Kung Fu Film Focus for this Thursday, August 20th, 2026. This evening, the focus is on a classic from 1980 under the Shaw Brothers Library, Return to the 36th Chamber. Yeah, starring Gordon Lau, and a follow-up sequel to the uber classic, The 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Once Gordon Liu starred in that original film, it catapulted him to the top of the heap as far as martial art film stars out of Hong Kong, because it was something new. You know, Jackie Chan had become very famous after his hits Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, followed up by Drunken Master. And comedy kung fu had come into full swing with acrobatics and thrilling fight sequences, along with training sequences for the main fighters in the films. And Shaw Brothers, who had numerous films that featured training sequences, some acrobatics, but not a great deal. But they had their main stars of the likes of Tai Lung, David Chang, Alexander Fuxing, Chen Kuai-tai, and others. And some of them, even though they were prominent stars, they couldn't do some of the action that these later 70s and early 80s films called for. So with Gordon Liu and his shaved head playing a Shaolin monk, not only a real martial artist, but had an appearance that made many refer to him as the Eastern Yul Brynner. Yeah, because he kind of put you in mind of the famous film star Yul Brynner. And when he played those roles of Shaolin monks, sometimes he played major characters, like in 36 Chambers, Sante, who was a famous monk from Shaolin. And in other films, such as this sequel, he played Chao Chun-Chi, who was not a monk at all, but someone who was a part of a Han village where he was like a beggar, a prankster, a shyster type guy, under the guise of a monk, begging for money and trying to swindle people. And everyone in the community knew Chao Chun-Chi, and they knew what he was all about. So this character was a lot different from whom Gordon played in the original 36 Chamber film. And there was the comedy element for him in this specific film of the Jackie Chan era, because he didn't really know Kung Fu. And so we find him in a situation where he ended up having to try to learn Kung Fu. And we'll get into why that was. But welcome, everybody. This film is a classic. I am glad to be back talking about Kung Fu films. We're going to be having more of these because it's just like that. We're leaving some of those other elements and contents behind because it's just time to move on, you know? But when it comes down to the Kung Fu films, I really enjoy that fare and have no problem sharing with you my experiences from what I have from my personal library, as well as the overall genre. Because though there are people out here on the social media airwaves, they talk Kung Fu films sometimes. They don't talk about all of the Kung Fu films. They don't talk about the independents. They don't talk about the smaller studios. They don't talk about the films from Taiwan. So it's an opportunity for me to get my plug in. But this evening, we are on the Shaws, you know? And with that, it's all about that. And we are simulcasting across multiple channels. Stormy B Man's Kung Fu Temple and Entertainment, and Stormy B Man's regular channel, as well as Rumble. Now, when I say click the link that's pinned, please do so, because that's exactly where we're going. And we'll have a more complete experience of this particular show and episode. And that's where you'll be able to enjoy all of the offerings to a full extent that I have for this particular episode. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. I am glad to be here. Glad that those of you who have chose to tune in are with. And there are those out there who may not know who Stormy B Man is, and they will show that as they come around. And guess what? My way is still that of being very strict and very stern, you know, because just as people come and they want to question what you do, how you do, why you do, they don't know that they can do is get the stepping. What did Martin Lawrence used to say on his show all the time? Get the stepping. I throw people out, you know? And that's how it is. You know, because class is in session here, and we don't look toward the peanut gallery when we're doing what we do over here. The peanut gallery is not where we dwell, not in the least. And I don't care if my head look like a peanut to some of you. Some people like peanuts, some people don't. Some people are allergic, huh? But they taste pretty damn good on ice cream, don't they? Yeah! So, as we do a roll call of who we got in the building this evening, Shogun, the real Shogun of Harlem, is back. I ain't seen him in a minute, but that's because I ain't been talking to food. Huh? And so he's right there. Huh? He's right there. Who's the baddest? Huh? Who's the prettiest? Yeah, the Shogun of Harlem has come back. Yeah, we got my brother, Drew Titan, LLC, in here with all the channels, huh? The Painful Excellence podcast, as well as Bear Cave, making an appearance here. Yeah. Yep. Drew says, yep, your intro was longer than that fool's stay, huh? And guess what? He don't have to worry about how long he be on the outside, do he? Huh? Because that's gonna be even longer. Yeah. This is how we do it. Yeah. Shout out to those who have come around because it's been a minute, huh? Over on Rumble, we got LPRN in the building. Columbia is out there as well because I let her know yesterday when we did the yesterday's live, we got some more food coming, huh? Yeah. So good to see you out there, Columbia. Shogun is pulling double duty over there with the Sensei salute. I appreciate that. Universal Truth is back as always, hanging in there with a short salute. Right back at you. Right back at you, bro. But listen, how many of you have seen 36 Chambers of Shaolin? Because that is a uber classic, also known as The Master Killer, huh? A film that Gordon Liu really got famous off of. So when we talk about Return to the 36 Chambers, that's a film that it was cashing in on the success of the original. This is also known as Return of the Master Killer and Return to the 36th Chamber. Yeah, released on August 24th, 1980. Directed by Lau Ka-young, the adopted brother and Sifu of Gordon Liu. And he was also the fight choreographer for this film. This film had a real strong cast of Kara Hu and many other familiar faces and names. But Johnny Wang Lung Wei, who is a noted actor who played a villain in many of the Shaw Brothers films, was the main baddie here. But Gordon Liu and his comedic performance here was very interesting because many people may have thought going into this, oh, this is him returning in the role that really stamped his fame. But that was not to be. That was not the case. You see, they switched it up on us, which was really a good ploy because once they did that, it allowed audiences to really enjoy what they were doing, and it gave a different opportunity of training sequences for Gordon in this film. So, with that being said, we are presently 20 minutes in on the live, and I am going to ask each and every one of you to click the link right now going forward. Please click the link. The family knows what that means.